You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, Black and White sports fans, it's that time of year. It is 2024, and we're months away from the presidential election. Now, the presidential elections and politics have definitely been going hand in hand the last few election cycles. Remember, the Marxist NBA of China actually turned stadiums into polling centers. Yes, and also no NBA games on election day. Because the NBA has made no bones about it. They are a left-wing organization, just a part of the Democratic Party. And we know that a lot of their players and executives actually support the Democratic Party. But with the NBA going full politics, they have alienated half of their audience. They're not getting the same viewership as in years past. I mean, before 2020, they were actually getting people watching. Post 2020, nah, a lot of people just checked out. They said no. Now, ESPN, who is supposed to be the worldwide leader in sports, they have seen viewership decline. Why? Because they're just way too political. ESPN is a left-wing network. And if you actually have any views that actually oppose the left, then you must be silent about your political opinions. But if you're on the left, hey, it's okay. You can say whatever you want to say. Now, when Jimmy Pitaro came in, he actually tried to rein in all of the politics. He put in place, hey, we're a sports organization. We're sports first. We're not doing politics. Forget about it. That's why your Jamel Hills and people like that are no longer at ESPN. But then what happened? St. George Floyd happened, folks. And then ESPN went off the deep end. Completely lost their minds. Even doing a sporting event, I believe it was an NCAA women's basketball game. And Florida actually passed their parental rights and education bill. And ESPN didn't like that. So their employees were actually on the air in the game talking about that. Nobody tuned into a basketball game to hear politics. But ESPN, they're not going to learn their lesson. They're just not. Now, when Sage Steele actually gave her opinion, and by the way, Sage Steele wasn't even on an ESPN platform. Remember, she was actually on Jay Cutler's podcast, and she was talking about Barack Obama, talking about how she didn't want to get the jab or anything like that, but she had to do it because she needed a job. They didn't like that. So Sage Steele, of course, she went through a lawsuit with ESPN, finally settled. But Stephen A. Smith, who is the highest paid person over there at ESPN, this man actually has his own show as well. He talks politics all the time. Now, it's okay for Stephen A. Smith to talk about politics on his own show, but Sage Steele, when she's not on an ESPN platform, she can't do that. Yeah. Hypocrites, man. Other people at ESPN, they've been doing the same thing many times. Sarah Spain. Yeah. Even though ESPN is actually supposed to be enforcing the rule of no politics, right? Well, guess what, guys? It's going to be hard now for ESPN to actually silence their people when it comes to politics this election cycle. Why? Well, guys, it definitely seems like they're afraid of being called racist and sexist. Why? Because of Kamala Harris. Yeah. Let's get into it, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member live stream every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You guys can also support us by becoming a member on blackandwhitenetwork.com or supporting us on Locals, both for just $5 per month. Check the links in the description. So here we go, guys. Over here on Outkick, election season is already a migraine for ESPN. Bobby Burack right here, guys. And he's actually going to drop a bombshell here in this article. Not going to go over the whole thing here, but I will highlight a few things here. ESPN is absolutely terrified of actually silencing their employees. But they had no problem silencing Sage Steele because she's a conservative. Yeah. They really don't believe in equal treatment over there at ESPN. Now, right down here, okay, it's actually going to talk about Mina Kimes here. She praised Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz for his masculinity, leading to an ongoing feud with Outkick. Yeah. And they have a whole article right there. You guys can actually go and read it if you want to check it out. And her and Clay Travis were actually going back and forth. ESPN hasn't said anything about that. Anyway, SportsCenter anchor Elle Duncan recently criticized Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance and Republicans over his resurfaced, taken out of context, childless cat ladies comment. She says this, quote, making snap judgments on childless people whilst trying to prevent some families from utilizing the only hope they have of expanding their family is the real sociopathic behavior. Sending love to the people being attacked for making choices within and in many cases outside of their control, Duncan posted on X. Columnist David Dennis arraigned Donald Trump for sitting down with the National Association of Black Journalists earlier this month, suggesting the former president doesn't respect black journalists right there. But Kamala Harris didn't even show up. Yeah, she was supposed to be there with President Trump, and she didn't show up. Just throwing it out there. But this is what Dennis tweeted, quote, that man doesn't believe the National Association of Black Journalists should even exist, in my opinion, like what we are doing right now. That's ridiculous. Sarah Spain applauded the 2024 Democratic National Convention. Quote, the thing that stands out most about the DNC speakers is that they're normal people, wrote Spain. Funny, smart, accomplished, exceptional people, but normal. Spain contrasted the DNC with the RNC last month, saying, quote, it's incredibly endearing and far more inspiring than stiff, creepy, fear-mongering, weird RNC people and politicians. Wow. Outkick asked ESPN president of content, Burt Madness, about Spain's rant, to which he had a member of the network's public relations team immediately reach out with the following comment. Quote, Sarah is not employed as an on-air ESPN talent. Did they let her go? Apparently not, but she still works for ESPNW. Interesting. But they said that she's not an on-air ESPN talent. Okay, whatever it is. But still, right down here, let's get to the nuts and bolts of this thing right here. It says here, what is ESPN so afraid of? Why can't the network simply tell employees to stick to sports or else? In simple terms, ESPN's mostly white male executives are fearful of silencing women and people of color. Yeah. And ESPN talents know that. Two agents from two different talent agencies tell Outkick that ESPN is unlikely to discipline employees for discussing politics ahead of the election in the event the company has to decipher between political commentary and, quote, support for the first black female president and women's reproductive rights. Wow. And Kamala Harris, by the way, she's not black anyway. But anyway, translation, ESPN employees know they can use their platforms to support Kamala Walz and only Kamala Walz. Yeah, because somebody actually comes out and supports President Trump. You guys know their days are going to be numbered over there at ESPN. They know that, man. I mean, this is definitely hypocritical of ESPN, but they're so terrified, man, of actually being called bigots and racists and sexist and all this other stuff. So they're going to let their employees get away with that. But if you're like a Sage Steele, shut up. Even though Sage Steele is a woman, half black, they didn't care. Shut your mouth. That's what they told her. But all these other people, man, can spew whatever they want to say, no matter how crazy it is. Yeah, the hypocrisy is real, folks. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.